Are men unattracted to independent women?
No, men are unattracted to when women make being an independent woman their personality. Because in reality, the only thing these independent women are doing are being adults. Yes, you pay your own bills. Yes, you work. Yes, you hustle. Yes, you grind. But that's what you're supposed to do when you're an adult and you're by yourself. Well, not even by yourself. That's what you're supposed to do when you're an adult. But now you guys want to walk around, oh, I'm a girl. I'm over here working. I get my own money. I don't need no man. Then all right, be by yourself. Then that's fine. Y'all getting into y'all money, y'all being hustlers does not scare men. But when you come off cocky, when you come off arrogant, nobody wants to be around that. And the crazy part is, women fought back then for y'all to be in the workforce. The feminist movement was for equal rights back then. But now y'all have changed it and think, oh, you should have a crown on your head because you're just being an adult.
As a man, are you going to be attracted to an independent woman? Would you find a very successful woman attracting? Can you have a long-term relationship with a successful woman, or you see them as a threat or somebody you cannot have a relationship with? And that is what today's video is all about. Hey beautiful people, and welcome back again to my YouTube channel. My name is Maria Davis and I'm back again with another interesting video. So I have a video to share with you all. It is about a woman talking and just saying generally that men are not always attracted to independent women. Okay, I'm going to play the video for you all to watch, then I'll come back and talk about it.
Are men unattracted to independent women? I was talking to my guy friend the other day. We're talking about just like independent women. I was telling him how one of my girlfriends, she's super independent. She does X, Y, and Z by herself. She's like such a bad bitch. And she doesn't need really anyone to count on. And he goes, let me guess. I bet you she is single. To that, I'm like, why? He's like, well, historically, men have always been, you know, the caregiver. Like they usually have always been that breadwinner, right? Type sort of personality. And he goes, so that's why when women are too independent, they're too masculine and men find them unattractive. To that, I responded and I said, I think it's because 50% of men are average at best, okay? And as a woman raises her bar and she starts to provide herself that validation, she, does these things for herself and she counts more on herself to become more independent, her bar raises, meaning that the men that can match her at that level are fewer men. And so that is why these more independent women, are typically, I guess, more single based off of what he's saying, because they just haven't found someone to match them at that level yet. Maybe independent women don't like most of the men now.
I already asked the question that if you're a man, can you have a long-term relationship with a successful woman or not? I saw stitches of men coming out. Some men were saying they like their woman to have money, and while others were saying if you're a woman and you're making so much money, you will not have that feminine energy. You are not going to respect me the way I want you to respect me. I have stitches like that, and I'm going to share with you stitches from men and also women too, but mostly men, telling us why they prefer or why they won't prefer a successful woman for a relationship compared to someone that doesn't have money. So let's watch.
Are men unattracted to independent women?
Independent women and nice guys. Y'all are in the same boat now. Now that women wanted to be so independent, you get to see what it feels like to be a man. You know when guys, the nice guy syndrome, when they have that shit, and they're like, oh, I did everything right. I opened the door, I bought her flowers, I was a gentleman, blah, blah, blah. She still doesn't want me. She wants the asshole. And the women go, oh, you're nice. That's the bare minimum. Good job. That's how independent women sound. Well, I pay all my own bills and I do this and that for myself and blah, blah, blah. And I don't need no man. Good job. You're doing the same thing as every guy you date. Good job. He don't care. Nobody cares. Do you like Pokemon cards or something? Anything but how much money you make and how many degrees you got. Anything else or anything else in there? You have a dog? You like to go fishing? You want to go shooting at the range real quick? You have anything else of substance other than your career and how smart you are? That's what it sounds like y'all have turned into. It sounds insufferable if we're going to keep it a buck.
Are men unattracted to independent women?
The men who are employed, successful, or just straight up doing well for themselves in life, generally speaking, do not like independent women at all. At least in terms of dating, I should say. They could be great people, but in terms of dating, they would never date an independent woman. Two completely independent people dating each other in a relationship almost never works out, because eventually you're going to realize we really just do not need each other. Now, if one person is dependent on the other person, that's a different story. Also, if it's a partnership, that's a different story. I mean, you really got to think about this. There's a reason why you never see two CEOs dating each other, or why celebrity relationships never work. It's because you both have everything you could ever need. You really don't need the other person that much. Like, that's why whenever you see like a rich business owner or something like that, they usually end up getting married to some woman that they met working at Starbucks or something. Because someone who's rich knows how much time and effort it takes to become rich. So he's going to be busy like 24/7, and you want someone who's going to have time for him. Another rich person is not going to have time for him like that. So if you tell men that you're independent, you're going to push away all the successful guys, but the bums are going to want to attach right to you.
Are men unattracted to independent women? I
love this question. I'm going to make it really, really simple. Men are not unattracted to independent women or not interested in dating independent women. Men are uninterested in expanding their definition of masculinity. Because let's be real, when you're dating an independent woman, meaning that a woman that can take care of herself, that provides for herself, that can take care of herself financially as well, and is the instrument of her own validation, what happens is when a man steps into a relationship with a woman like that, he has to redefine what he means by, I'm a man and this is what I offer to the table. Being with a woman that embodies this level of independence is quite uncomfortable for most men. Because by her presence alone, she forces them to challenge their ideas of masculinity. What it means to be a provider, a protector, and a really good man, a really good partner. 100 years ago, it was a lot easier to step into that role and know that you're providing, you're protecting, and you're being a good partner. Because women weren't allowed to claim their own independence in the work field, in even being able to walk outside by themselves without their partner next to them. And that made it really difficult for women because, I mean, you really can't leave the house without your partner. You really can't make financial decisions on your own. You really can't provide for yourself financially. But that made it really easy for men to know that, oh, I'm being a man, I'm a good father, I'm a good husband. I pay all the bills, I work, I cover expenses, I take care of the family. I'm a good man, I'm a good father, right? And if you even go back further, defining what a protector is was a lot easier as well. If you chose to go out into war or go out into battle to defend your family, to defend your community or your village, you were seen as a man. You were seen as very masculine. But now in this modern day world, I'm not protecting my partner from a woolly mammoth or colonizers coming to invade our village, right? She's also capable of financially providing for herself. So now when I think of provision, when I think of protection, when I think of what it means to really be a good partner, my definitions have to completely upgrade. And so now that women are showing up for themselves in the way that they once depended on men to, their bar naturally raises. Their standards go up and what they expect from their partner also gets an upgrade. So no, I don't think that men are unattracted to independent women. I think men are just afraid of women that are in their power because it means that she's not going to live to please, to nurture, and to coddle him. She's actually going to force him to do the deep work, to evolve his definition of masculinity. And for most men, sadly, that's not what they want to sign up for.
Are men unattracted to independent women?
Whenever a category is made, a bunch of people try to lump themselves into it, but don't really belong in these categories. Watch the original video. The guy who stitched that made a really good video. Much less men are actually turned off by independent women as some independent women might believe. Oftentimes, people aren't into you for men or women because you're independent. It's because you're a bad partner. Being independent is fine, and I think a lot of people don't have an issue with it. The problem is that you guys confuse being independent with just being completely emotionally unavailable and horrible in relationships. There are plenty of independent people who are just fine finding relationships, and trying to hide within the label and say that all independent people are struggling to find relationships is being dishonest and won't help you.
Are men unattracted to independent women?
Contrary to what you might believe, men love successful women. We are proud of y'all, especially our sisters. Y'all going to school. Y'all got your degrees. Y'all getting good jobs. We are so proud of y'all. And we cheer for y'all. But the only problem is you weaponize it against us, which makes no sense. I don't need you. I make more money than you. I can take care of myself. I could do. Y'all get success and y'all think it means the elimination of men. We get success and we think it's the inclusion of you. The only reason a lot of men is hesitant to get married is because we can't afford it. So we know that money equals you. Money equals family. Success, money, family. You exclude us. It's weird.
Are men unattracted to independent women?
Contrary to what you might believe, men love successful women. We are proud of y'all, especially our sisters. Y'all going to school. Y'all got your degrees. Y'all getting good jobs. We are so proud of y'all. And we cheer for y'all. But the only problem is you weaponize it against us, which makes no sense. I don't need you. I make more money than you. I can take care of myself. I could do. Y'all get success and y'all think it means the elimination of men. We get success and we think it's the inclusion of you. The only reason a lot of men is hesitant to get married is because we can't afford it. So we know that money equals you. Money equals family. Success, money, family. You exclude us. It's weird.
Are men unattracted to independent women?
The simple answer is yes. And the reason why is simple. Men are pack animals. Ever go to Vegas, ever go to a concert, ever go to an event and see a group of men? They roll in a pack. If you look at that pack closely, you will always see that there's a pack leader. And the men coalesce around that pack leader to keep things organized. If one of the other men in that pack want to be the leader and they challenge the pack leader for that leadership spot, only one of them can win that challenge. The pack either breaks up or it replaces the leader. When men think about being with a woman, they're thinking about their pack, their family, their team. When women say that they're independent, it doesn't promote family, team building, teamwork. Men don't like that.
Are men unattracted to independent women?
All right, ladies, I'm going to spit this to you one time. Masculine energy is not attracted to masculine energy. We're only attracted to female energy. The more masculine the man, the more feminine the woman. If you're a masculine woman trying to attract an even more masculine man, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen, right? At the end of the day, if you live with me and a guy breaks into the house, you're not going to go out there with the gun and defend yourself. You're going to hide in the closet or under the bed, and I'm going to go out there and I'm going to handle my business. If we're at a club and there's an altercation, you're not going to go in and defend me from three dudes. You're going to sit your ass in the damn corner and call the cops while I go over there and I handle business. It doesn't matter if I get my ass whooped or not. A masculine energy is not attracted to masculine energy. If you act masculine, you're unattractive. Now, in this world, we have the most beautiful women in the world physically. The problem is your mannerisms are of a guy. Now, you have to understand, if you're a strong, independent woman making $50,000 a year, good for you. But I look at you like one of my boys who's 5'6", making $50,000 a year, just with tits. I'm not attracted to you. I'm sorry. I look at you like John around the corner who's living paycheck to paycheck, trying to make ends meet and wonders why he's single and alone. Because he's not the most masculine. He's as masculine as the average woman out here in the United States. Femininity is the most precious commodity in the world. If you're successful and independent, great. Act like a damn woman, and you will attract a man. The more feminine you act, the more masculine you'll get. The more masculine you get, the more feminine you get. And if you want to, you might end up with a guy like John who's 5'6", $50,000 a year, which is nothing wrong with that. But that's not what you want, and that's not what you asked. So play the part and get the role, or don't play the parts and get John.
Are men unattracted to independent women?
It's not even that you guys are independent. It's just you guys make it seem like men just do not matter in the world, which I understand. but you gotta open jars, you know? Like, I'm really good at opening, you know?
Are men unattracted to independent women?
When men are unattracted to independent women, I think a lot of the time it comes down to the concept of control. Women who are good on their own, who are maybe financially independent, don't need a man to live a fulfilled life, could threaten certain men's conception of masculinity and therefore their conception of identity and worth, because masculinity that is entrenched in the patriarchy tells us that we have to have control over and power over women. So because they can't expand their masculinity, or probably a better word would be redefine their masculinity, an independent, powerful woman feels like a threat to them and therefore is unattractive because they can't control them. Because to these men, which is not all men, it's just men who have their masculinity entrenched in the patriarchy, these men need to have dominion and power over women to build themselves up and make them feel secure in their masculinity, which is obviously bad and requires massive deconstruction.
And here is my thoughts about this whole situation. Okay, when it comes to a woman being independent, meaning she can take care of herself, she doesn't need you. She can take care of herself financially. She doesn't need you to boss her around because she can afford what you think you can give her, you know. And I feel like an independent woman, in as much as she can afford what she can afford, or she can take care of herself, she still needs a man to also take care of her. That's another topic entirely. But then, why are men afraid to have a relationship with an independent woman? Is it that you're going to feel like you're not going to be like a man, or feel like a man, or how will I put it? Because most men here in Africa, they like to be in control. They like to be in charge. So for you to be in charge of your relationship, for you to be the man of your relationship, you have to have money. You have to be the one that is providing. Because as much as the woman is the one providing, she might not give you that 100. Most women will not give you that 100 respect that most men want here in Africa that I'm staying. And that now fall back to when a woman is very independent, she can take care of herself, she has her own money. It's very hard for her to have a man around her, because men are always like, I don't want somebody that will be bossing me around. I don't want someone that will come and tell me I have my own money, I can do anything. Men don't like it. Men around here do not like it. I really don't know why. And I feel like it's better for your woman to even have money, so that less expense on your head. Because if you're actually with somebody that doesn't have shishi, that you have to be the one to pay everything, you have to be the one to do everything. Because when a woman doesn't have any money, men always feel in control. Oh, I can tell her anything, I can tell her sit down there, and she's going to sit down there because she's nothing without my money and all of that. And that is what most men like. That's what they like and everything. But in as much as that is what they like, I feel like men should, there's nothing wrong with being with an independent woman. I feel like it's just a win-win. It's a plus for a man that knows what he's doing, a man that respects woman, that doesn't want to have a woman just for being the slave, or being somebody that's, you know, I just want to control somebody. So if you know that you want to have a relationship because of relationship's sake, you want to have a marriage because of marriage sake, I feel like a woman being an independent woman has nothing to do with your relationship, if that makes sense. And yeah, a woman being independent doesn't stop her from also having to spend your money. So if you have money and you have an independent woman that does everything by herself, that doesn't stop you from spending money on her. And that's what today's video is all about. Thank you all so much for sticking around to this point. I hope you enjoyed this one. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe and all of that good stuff, and I'll see you all in my next one. Bye.